Hello and welcome to Scotland, welcome to Edinburgh Waverley, and welcome to episode 14 of Exploring the East Coast. We're off to visit 2 more Scottish stations today, but before we start that, welcome to Flights and Times. So I started this morning over in Glasgow because I'm staying over there for a few nights. Got the one cross-country service a day this morning from Glasgow Central across to Edinburgh. So yeah, something a bit different rather than the normal ScotRail Express from Queen Street. And my next train is this Trans-Pennine Express behind me. It runs to Newcastle, but it will take me to the first of the 2 stations I'm visiting today, Dunbar. So yeah, it's about a half-hour journey from here to Dunbar. So yeah, I'll see you there. So I've made it to the first stop of the day, Dunbar, station that has a very pick and mix service. Has a 2-hourly ScotRail service, terminates here, goes to Edinburgh. 7 TPE trains a day, 2 between Berwick and Edinburgh, 5 between Newcastle and Edinburgh. Then has, I think, 4 LNER services in each direction each day, 3 of which go to King's Cross, 1 goes to Leeds, and all go up to Edinburgh, and then there's a handful of cross-country services each day as well, to Edinburgh northbound and southbound to varying destinations. So it's a bit of a mess, the timetable here. So if you do visit, make sure you check before you travel. Don't turn up at Edinburgh and just expect a train. I've come down on one of those 2 Edinburgh to Berwick TPE services, but I'm going to head into the town and see what there is to offer. So I've had a wander down Dunbar High Street. It's a nice pretty little town, lots of independent shops, cafes and restaurants. The first of the things to do, so to speak, is here, John Muir's birthplace. John Muir, I think I'm saying that right, was essentially the 19th century's David Attenborough. Campaigned for preservation of nature in North America, and basically his work led to the creation of some of the US's national parks. So yeah, John Muir's birthplace. I'm going to have a wander on, and I might come back and have a look around there later. So here at Dunbar we're on basically the corner of Firth of Forth and the North Sea. So that's the North Sea out there, a bit more further forth around here. But in the distance over there you can see Doon Hill, which is the location of the Battle of Dunbar in 1650 between Cromwell's English army and the Scottish army. Scots well and truly lost, unfortunately, in this. Essentially a complete victory for Cromwell. But yeah, so a bit of Dunbar's shoreline and history here. So I've made my way down to Dunbar's harbour to see what there is down here. You've got the 16th century Old Harbour, or Cromwell Harbour, in front of me. Here's the Broad Haven, which was the original entrance to the harbour, but that has since been filled in here. You've got the 18th century Dunbar Battery, built to defend the port from privateers. It was restored in 2017 by the Port Authority. And over there in the distance you've got the New Harbour, or Victoria Harbour, that was also constructed in the 18th century. Behind that is Dunbar Castle, which is where I'm going to head round to shortly. But yeah, nice little harbour area down here. Good views out over the Firth of Forth and North Sea. You can see some wind turbines in the distance. But yeah, quite a nice place to be this morning. Slight breeze, but a nice sunny day at the moment. So behind me is the castle. You can't actually visit it, it's all in ruins. And in fact, reading the sign, there is no picture or painting of the castle intact ever. But yeah, possibly a 14th century castle. Quite a lot of history with Mary Queen of Scots here. But yeah, the north end of the castle was destroyed in the building of Victoria Harbour, and the new entrance to the harbour is there just next to the castle. So yeah, I'm going to head back up the hill into town now and have a bit more of an explore. So I'm back at Dunbar station, ready to catch my next train to station number 2 of the day. But a bit more about Dunbar. I did pop back to John Muir's birthplace, free entry. However, there was a school group in there, so I stuck my head in, discovered that, and left the end quite rapidly. There is also the Dunbar Townhouse Museum and Art Gallery, which is open between 1 PM and 5 PM daily from the start of April to the end of September, and again that is free entry. So yeah, Dunbar, lovely little town. Castle to have a look at, the battery you can go and have a wander around, the 2 museums, and just a nice little town and high street to wander around. So yeah, I'd certainly recommend coming down here for an afternoon, come down here for lunch, have a potter, explore the museums, and then head back to Edinburgh if you're staying there. But yeah, so I'm now going to wait for the once every 2 hours TPE service. Told a Porky earlier I actually got the service here that is the Newcastle service. The one I'm waiting for is one of the 2 that only goes to Berwick, but it does stop at my next station, which is Reston. So I will see you at Reston. behind me is the East Coast Main Line's newest station, Reston. It's been open for about 16 months now, opened in May 2022. Can be served by trains up to 10 cars in length, however only really sees TPE 5-car units. There's the occasional LNER. In terms of train service, TPE serve it 8 times a day, I believe, and LNER serve it once a day in each direction. It's not a regular pattern. Sometimes it's hourly, sometimes it's 2 hourly, so this is really a check before you travel. The East Coast Main Line's newest station, big car park, EV chargers, bike parking, a ticket machine, step-free access, pretty big bridge, and there is a bus stop over there somewhere there. There's not much else here. The town of Reston is quite small. The village of Reston is quite small. Looking on Google Maps, there is a post office, and that's about it. The town of Eyemouth is a couple of miles in that direction. Getting there certainly on foot is going to be a challenge, so I'm not going to be doing that. And with the train service, I have 55 minutes before the next train back to Edinburgh. Otherwise, I have nearly 3 hours, which I'm not sitting here for 3 hours. So I'm going to have a little bit of a wander into the village, but I have a feeling I'm going to be back here at the station fairly quickly. Reston. So I don't really fancy going down to the river and having to clamber back up, but the one thing Reston does have is a little riverside and woodland walk. It's directly opposite the station approach road. Access to it, you follow it down here, you get down to the riverside. That's pretty much it for Reston. I went to the post office, got a can of iron brew. So I will be heading back to the station shortly, get a train back to Edinburgh. So I'm now back at Reston, ready to get the train back up to Edinburgh. Wind's picking up a lot now. It's quite a stormy day in Scotland, although the sun's still out. Reston, probably not really worth a visit. If you're staying in the local area, it's a good station to get into Edinburgh, where, as I said before, check the train times. Also, if you were staying in the area, check out the Woodland Walk, the Woodland and Riverside Walk. Probably worth a little wander. Nice little village, but not much to do here. So that's Reston. Dunbar earlier, great little town.